Take a walk down any British high street and you can play a little game. Count the Costas. There's one by the station, there's another across the road, there's a tiny one inside next. Overall, there are over 2,800 Costa Coffee shops in the UK. It's hard to go more than a few hundred yards in any town or city without spotting that familiar burgundy sign. And while Brits absolutely love a good moan about it, the reality is that Costa owns the UK coffee game. To call it merely popular would be a massive understatement. The brand is a true behemoth. It's bigger than Starbucks, bigger than Caffè Nero, and far bigger than that one quirky independent cafe everyone swears is the real hidden gem. So, how on earth did Costa, a venture started by two Italian brothers with a small roastery and a dream, become the undisputed king of British coffee? To understand how Costa became the beige and red juggernaut we know today, we have to travel back to the 1960s. The story begins with two brothers, Bruno and Sergio Costa, who moved from Italy to London. They surveyed the British coffee scene and, to put it politely, were horrified. Back then, coffee in Britain was a grim affair. In many places around the country, it was just instant powder from a jar of Nescafé served in a mug. The concept of espresso, cappuccino, or anything remotely sophisticated was confined to a few specialist Italian delis and coffee bars in central London. The Costa brothers saw an opportunity. Their philosophy put the quality of the coffee first. They began in 1971 by opening a small roastery on Fenchurch Street, a stone's throw from the Tower of London. From there, they supplied their signature blend to local caterers and restaurants with an operation dedicated to perfecting the craft of the roast. Their blend, the Mocha Italia, was slow roasted for a richer, smoother flavor, a world away from the burnt, mass-produced stuff. The promise they offered was a taste of real, authentic Italy amidst the grey and the drizzle. Unsurprisingly, it turned out to be exactly what Londoners were waiting for. For a full decade, the brothers were purely roasters. Then, in 1981, they finally opened their own cafe on Vauxhall Bridge Road. It was a humble spot on an ordinary London street, chosen specifically to serve the area's office workers. The cafe served proper espresso and cappuccino in ceramic cups alongside Italian pastries. It offered a moment of continental sophistication for locals who fancied something more grown-up than a mug of instant or a pale tea from the greasy spoon round the corner. The brothers offered consistency, quality, and a touch of Italian charm without the intimidating attitude. By the 1990s, the world was changing, and so was Britain's relationship with coffee. The yuppie culture of the 80s had given way to the cool Britannia vibes of the 90s. In this new era, coffee transformed into a full-blown lifestyle accessory. American chains like Starbucks were eyeing up the UK, and being seen with a branded paper cup became a status symbol. Costa was already ahead of the curve, with around 40 shops by the mid-90s quietly building a loyal following. Here, the story takes a turn, shifting from a charming family business to a corporate juggernaut. In 1995, the Costa brothers sold their company to Whitbread, a massive British firm that owned everything from Pizza Hut UK to Premier Inn. For Whitbread, the acquisition was a strategic move centered on scale. They saw a brand they could grow exponentially, and they wasted no time in making it happen. Locations popped up everywhere. Shopping centers, train stations, motorway service stations, hospitals, even inside bookshops. If there was a steady stream of people, Whitbread saw a spot for Costa. By the mid-2000s, this relentless expansion meant Costa was among the fastest growing brands in the UK. But as always, scale comes at a cost. While some people swear by Costa's cappuccinos, others reckon they've become the McDonald's of the coffee world, and not in a good way. So why did Costa catch on? Part of it is that Costa perfectly nailed the British love for the comfortable middle ground. Starbucks often felt a bit too loud, a bit too American, with its confusing sizes and 5-quid frappuccinos topped with mountains of cream. Pret was for the frantic, sandwich-grabbing lunch rush. Caffè Nero had its loyalists but lacked the sheer ubiquity. Costa, though, was comfy. It was the familiar, safe, and reliable choice. It rarely inspires passion, but it never truly offends. And their location strategy was genius. While rivals chased premium city center sites, Costa played the long game, opening in suburban retail parks, business parks, and next to A-roads. They understood a fundamental truth. Brits are creatures of convenience and habit. If you put a half-decent coffee shop in their path, they will use it repeatedly. It wasn't just about being everywhere though. Whitbread invested heavily in creating a consistent experience. They established the Costa Coffee Academy, a training center where every barista had to learn the art of pulling an espresso shot, steaming milk correctly, and attempting to draw that wobbly heart shape in your latte foam. Crucially, Costa continued to roast its own beans at their roastery in Lambeth, London. This vertical integration was key. By controlling their entire supply chain, they achieved a remarkable level of consistency. The result was a predictable coffee experience, whether you were in Aberdeen or Brighton. For the British public, that predictability became a comforting promise. The branding was also spot on. The deep red, the big, huggable mugs, and the comfortable seating were all designed to make people stay. Costa's core identity was a second living room of sorts, a reliable beige and red refuge from the drizzle outside, which stood in complete contrast to the trendy, minimalist hipster joints. By 2018, Costa had become a behemoth with over 2,400 UK shops, making it a true national institution for Whitbread. But the company's success had attracted a new, powerful suitor, the Coca-Cola company. This US giant was looking to secure a major foothold in the global coffee market. They made an offer Whitbread couldn't refuse, a staggering £3.9 billion. Coca-Cola's reasoning was clear. As consumers worldwide grew wary of sugary drinks, the company needed a powerful new revenue stream, and coffee was the obvious answer. Buying Costa gave them a turnkey solution, a beloved brand with a vast supply chain and a fast track into the growing market for canned and bottled coffees. It was a calculated move to transform Coca-Cola into a total beverage company. But selling out to the big guns comes with its own risks. Despite being the nation's favorite, Costa often faces a barrage of criticism online. People complain about the burnt taste of the coffee, the bland waiting room style decor, and painfully slow Wi-Fi. Mentions of sticky tables, lukewarm paninis, and a chronic lack of working plug sockets often complete the picture. But here's the funny thing, people will happily complain about Costa, often while using its Wi-Fi. You don't end up in a Costa because it's an exciting choice, but because it's always there. Costa won the coffee war by mastering the art of being absolutely everywhere. If you've ever been half dead on the M6 at 7 AM, you've probably been saved by a Costa Express machine. And you know what? It's not half bad. These self-service machines are the unsung heroes of Costa's empire. They're the Trojan horse that got the brand into thousands of locations where a full cafe would never fit, like in service stations, supermarkets, corner shops, and office buildings. As of 2025, there are over 14,000 Costa Express machines globally, the vast majority right here in the UK. The key to the Costa Express model is its technology. The machines are engineered to use the same Mocha Italia beans and real fresh milk found in the cafes, ensuring a consistent cup of coffee. This technological advantage created a high-margin, staff-free revenue stream that could fit into a tiny footprint, perfectly catering to the British desire for quick, no-fuss service. So, how did Costa become the UK's largest coffee chain? It was through a relentless strategy of prime locations, unwavering consistency, and a deep understanding of the British psyche. Ultimately, Costa's unmatched success is a direct result of its ubiquity. The brand won by embedding itself into the fabric of British life. In a world saturated with choice, Costa's true strength was its ability to become the safe, dependable, and ever-present option for millions. But what do you reckon? Is Costa's reign a masterclass in convenience, or has it just made us all settle for average coffee? And more importantly, is there another chain you think has them beat on quality? Drop your stories and your go-to orders in the comments. We want to hear it all. And if you enjoyed this caffeinated deep dive, give us a like, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. Cheers for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.